The Sandman season 2 has dropped on Netflix and it is undoubtedly one of my favorite shows. I'm going to be doing a fantasy shoot based off of this afternoon, I think. I'm going to go through some of the lighting breakdowns from the show and pick a scene that I want to recreate. But everything about this show is me. We have Greek mythology, there's Shakespeare, there's the Fae, there's history, and it's so colourful. It's such a refreshing show. I've never seen anything like it before. So first, I want to drop a quick caveat and say that in this little review, I'm going to be separating art from artist. For this particular video, I'm just going to be looking at the Netflix adaptation and then praising all of the work that went into it. So part 1 of season 2, we do see a few plot lines. We go to hell, we go to the mortal world, and we go to some of the realms of the endless. We follow Dream and Delirium, and they're on this journey to try and find their older brother, Destruction. And the show kind of pivots in the first couple of episodes, very similar to how season 1 did, where the first maybe 3 episodes you start on one plot line and then that arc finishes, that arc completes, and then they pivot to another one for the rest of the show. We do that again in season 2. So first off, what sets the Sandman apart is absolutely how refreshing it is. I've never seen a show like it before. There's nothing like it on TV, and I love how whimsical it feels. I think that in the current state of the world, everyone is looking for a state of whimsy, and there's just something about the Sandman that it delivers the whimsy. It just sprinkles it on there, you know? Because I'm a big fan of the audiobooks, one of the things I was really excited to see how they interpreted was the Song of Orpheus. Now, in the audiobook, they have Reggie John Page singing the Song of Orpheus, and it's really, really beautiful. I remember when I first heard it, I was like sewing something at the time and I broke out into full body goosebumps. It was so beautiful. And it kind of made me nervous when I was watching season 2 on Netflix for how were they going to make it different enough that it could be a standalone, but how are they still going to make it hit the same? Now, the Netflix rendition is a sleeper. When you first listen to it, you're like, oh, that's really beautiful. And you break out into goosebumps and it's phenomenal and the visuals are just amazing. And then you find yourself listening to it again and again. And I was at the gym and I was on a little push bike and I just had that scene playing again and again on my phone, just like plonked there. And it was so nice. The only thing that you know what? No, I was going to say the only thing I'll flag is that because the song is in ancient Greek, the lyrics don't land. But I argue that it's not really about the lyrics, it's about the way that the song makes you feel, and that's what Orpheus is trying to do. Like Orpheus's music is supposed to be the type of music that transcends culture and time, and I think that having it in ancient Greek kind of allows you to attach your own meaning to the song. I actually have a Greek lyre and I've been really tempted to learn the Song of Orpheus on it, but I'm one of those people where if I don't get it straight away, I get really frustrated. So I've kind of been like fiddling around with it, and I know a bit of the song from the audiobook, but this one is just so beautiful that I just think, oh God, I don't even know if I want to attempt it. The VFX this season has been quite literally out of this world. I've never seen anything like the VFX here, and the way that they interpret characters like Azazel and even Dream, it's amazing. I studied animation at university, and so I have a rough idea. Obviously that was so long ago, but I have a rough idea on how these things are achieved. And I saw some of these graphics and I was just like, oh my gosh, it makes me want to go back and work away on my 3D software that I abandoned 10 years ago. There are 2 shots in particular that blew me away, and both are from episode 3. And I think that I'm going to be trying to replicate one of them in a shoot I'll do later where I will be playing Dream. It shows Dream in what looks to be like astronomical matter, and it's just a brief flash. It goes for a second, not even a second. And it took my breath away so much that I had to pause it and rewatch it consistently. And I was watching it with my husband and he said, how many times are we going to watch this? And I said, as many times as it takes. Like, I'm not over it. It's amazing. The second shot was a bit later on in the episode, and it was Dream in his realm. And one of the things that I love, and it's quite true to the graphic novels as well, is how Dream is just a silhouette and then you see the glints of his eyes, and they do that so well in season 2. So the biggest thing I want to shout out about this season is Dream's overall character arc. I just found that in the audiobooks, he grows somewhat, but he is kind of the same. At the core, he's the same. But in the show, he grows so much, and it feels so organic, and you completely understand how he grows. It's so human, even though he is not human whatsoever. You watch like the first half of season 2 and you're reminded about just how toxic Dream is, and then at the end he changes so much, and I don't know whether that change, because I haven't watched part 2 yet, I don't know whether that change is going to be enough for him to be a completely different person in season 2. It felt so real, and it was so rewarding seeing him grow. I believed the change, and that's the most important part. One gripe that I have with the show, I find that some of the costume design is quite lackluster, especially in episode, I think it was 5, The Song of Orpheus, when we go and visit ancient Greece. I'm a huge Greek mythology fan, and I was hoping that we would see some of the beautiful texture of ancient Greece. It was, the beautiful golds and the gorgeous fabrics and the jewelry, and I found that it was very pulled back. It was quite restrained, and Orpheus's character himself, even though he was completely different to how I imagined him, he was perfect. The casting was absolutely perfect, but his costume it didn't land for me. And so it took me a little bit of getting used to. But once I was in it, I was in it. And then Orpheus obviously carries on throughout the rest of part 2. Then he doesn't really need the costume, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to go away now, and I'm going to start planning the shoot that I want to do for this. So I'm very excited to do that, and wish me luck.